What's going on, everyone? You're back with your boy Jono for another quick math lesson. Today we're going to look at how to expand two brackets when they're side by side. So we already know that expanding means multiply that first term, the term that's outside of the brackets, by absolutely everything that's inside the brackets. So if we had an example like this, we've got 3x outside and 2x plus 5 inside those brackets. We know that we have to multiply the 3x by the 2x, so 6x squared, and then also multiply that front term by the second term, so 3x multiplied by 5, which gives us 15x. This is fully expanded. We're taking an expression that has brackets and getting rid of them. The principle for expanding two brackets is exactly the same. We've got to take everything outside of one of our sets and multiply it by everything that's inside one of our sets. So all we've really got to think about is, hey, am I multiplying everything outside by everything inside? If I am, then I'm fully expanding this set. So here we've got x plus 2 in brackets and x plus 3 in brackets, and we have to get rid of these by expanding them out. But what I want you to do first is just ignore this x. I've got 2. Really, I can just treat this like a normal expansion. I've got 2 multiplied by that x term and 2 multiplied by that 3 term. That's all I would have to do if there was just the 1 term there. Now I want you to do the exact same thing. Pretend that that plus 2 is not there. The x has to multiply with the x term, and then the x has to multiply by the 3. Some people really like to use a scaffold instead of imagining, oh, let's pretend this isn't here and pretend this isn't here. If we follow a little scaffold, we might be able to do it correctly every single time. What we do here is take that first term of the first bracket and multiply it by the first term of the second bracket. So x multiplied by x, which is x squared. Then we're still just focusing on that first x. We haven't finished its job. It's done the first x, but it's also got to multiply with the 3 as well. So we've got x multiplied by 3, which is 3x. That's that x completely done. Now we're just going to look at the 2. 2 multiplies with the x, which is plus 2x, and then 2 multiplies by the 3, plus 3. The only other thing that's important about these questions is that we have to collect like terms. We've got 2x and 3x in the middle there, so we have to go to x squared plus 5x plus 6. This is fully expanded, there's no more brackets, and everything outside has been multiplied by absolutely everything inside. So a way to remember this you might hear is something called FOIL. This is an acronym for first, outside, inside, last. What that means is we take the first terms and we multiply them together. Then we do the both outside ones, inside ones, and then the 2 last ones. It's not really essential that you know this, but this is something that might come up again and again, but it's just a little scaffold to make sure that you're multiplying absolutely everything inside by absolutely everything outside and not missing one. I'm not a huge believer in FOIL, I don't think it really matters, but what I do really like is using the lines or the arrows to represent what I'm multiplying the first term by. That's a really good way to be like, oh, I've got to have these 4 multiplications every time, and if I don't, I've done something wrong. I like using the arrows. You don't have to, as long as you're multiplying everything outside by everything inside. This also works if it gets a little bit more complex, but you do have to be really on top of looking out for those negative numbers. So if I've got 3x minus 2 and x plus 7, and I'm told to expand these, I am going to do this FOIL method just so we can see it in action. This is 3x multiplied by x, so my first term that I've got to write down is 3x squared. Then I do the outside term, so the 3x and the 7, which is 21x. Now I'm doing my inside terms for the I. This is where it's really important to check that negative number. It's minus 2, so I have to do minus 2 multiplied by x, so this is minus 2x. And finally, minus 2 multiplied by 7 is minus 14. Always remembering, check that negative sign. Again, I'm going to have to collect the like terms, the 21x minus 2x. So my final answer is 3x squared plus 19x minus 14. Full marks. We're just going to look at one more example here where the x term is not necessarily the first in the brackets. Here we've got 7 minus 8x in one, and then negative 2x minus 1 in the second. 7 multiplied by minus 2x is negative 14x. Then we've got that 7 multiplied by the minus 1, so that's negative 7. Here we've got to make sure that we are using our 2 negatives correctly if we're multiplying them together. So we've got minus 8x minus 2x, which is positive 16x squared. And then finally, minus 8x multiplied by minus 1 is plus 8x. The way that we like to write these ones out is with the x squared term first. So even though we've got this line of writing in blue, we're going to rewrite it so we can collect our like terms with the x squared term first. Once we collect those two x terms, the negative 14x and the plus 8x, we're left with 16x squared minus 6x minus 7, and that's our full mark. So again, just making sure for these questions, use the arrows. I think they're really helpful just to make sure that you are multiplying every single term that you can. And always remember to collect your like terms afterwards in order to fully simplify the question. Thanks so much for watching this lesson, and I'll see you later.